here with you today. My name is Frauke Gallia, and I am a certified aromatherapist and founder of Falk Aromatherapy. I wanted to talk to you today about essential oil labels, and specifically products you find in the store. And what I've done is I've gone to my local Whole Foods and Target stores and collected a few products that you see in front of me. And I wanted to bring some clarity in case you get a little confused when you go to the essential oil aisle and don't know what to buy. I thought I'd lay it all out for you and kind of group it for you and help you understand. So all of them have their own value and their own purpose, but they can be very different, and I don't want you to buy something for the wrong intention. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to mention, which I thought was interesting, is that you, when you go to the essential oil aisle at a store, unlike going online, but when you go to a store, you always tend to find it next to the natural body care products. And when you're next to the natural body care products, your brain kind of thinks, okay, essential oils, they might be like body lotions, they might be like shampoos. In fact, I want you to think of essential oils a little differently. And when you think about the labels, I want you to think of them more like food labels. Because you scrutinize your food labels a little bit more than a lot of us scrutinize our body care labels. And so just remember that, even though if you're buying it at the store and you find it near the natural product aisle, that you might want to consider in your head just going, okay, this is like food, this is like food. You're not going to eat it. I don't want you to ingest it, so please be aware, do not ingest. This is only for topical use. All right, so let's get started. So I have 4 different categories of products. Over here in one area is kind of the water products. So these are the mists, the waters, and the Hydra Salts. Then here we have the essential oils with carrier oils. Over here we have the essential oil blends. And lastly, but probably the best of all, are the straight and simple essential oil singles. All right, so I'm going to start over here because this gets to be quite confusing for people sometimes. And that is that when you think about water, mists, hydrosols, they're quite different actually. So water, this is a lavender water. And it's important to not only look at the front of the label, but also look in the back and kind of look at the ingredient list, because you'll learn a lot from the ingredient list, a lot more than you will from just the front of the label. So water is basically, when it's a water, it's taken, in this case, it's the Lavandula angustifolia, and the plant material is saturated in water, and then after a period of time, they take the plant material out, and voila, you have your lavender water. So it's literally water. It's kind of like oil infused with lemon or some of the other olive oils that you might be familiar with. This is what they've done with the lavender here. Then you have a body mist, which in this product has 3 different types of lavender, and the first ingredient is water. So what you have here is water and 3 different kinds of lavender essential oil. So essential oil water, plant material, and water. What I wanted to point out about this product, which is interesting, is that they only talk about, because they want to promote its relaxing lavender, they only talk about the 2 of the 3 lavenders. And the third, so there's 3 lavenders here. There's Lavandula angustifolia, which is kind of the true lavender that you might be familiar with. Then there's lavandin, which is also a very popular, it smells very similar. You might know it from soaps. A lot of cosmetics use lavandin. And then there's spike lavender, which is the 3rd lavender in here. And lavandin is actually a hybrid of the true lavender, Lavandula angustifolia, and spike lavender. So just a fun fact in case you're interested. So all 3 are in here, and they're just the essential oils mixed with water. Now I don't see a solubilizer in here, which is interesting. They might have put one in, but it's in a opaque bottle, so you don't see the separation of oil and water. As you know, just like salad dressing, oil and water don't mix. So it's probably always a good idea to shake it up a bit to disperse the essential oil within the water. And that's that product. Then we have the Lavender Hydra Salt. And this is the one that's most exciting for us aromatherapists, because what this is basically it's when you're trying to get the essential oil out of you try to create an essential oil out of plant material. You might, in the case of lavender, you steam distill it. So as the process finishes, you're actually getting a biphase product. You're getting the oil skimmed on the top, which is the essential oil, and then the remaining product, the byproduct, is the water. And that water is Hydra Salt. And that is wonderful because it's being produced at the same time as the essential oil. So it's actually the most natural, or the one that, you know, is more derivative of the plant material, if you will. As an aromatherapist, we really love this version. So those are the 3 waters. And moving on to the essential oils plus carrier oils. If you don't know what an essential, I know you want to know what an essential oil is, but a carrier oil is things like grapeseed oil, olive oil, avocado oil, apricot oil. There's so many different carrier oils. And the reason they're called carrier oils is because they help carry the essential oil on the body, because you never want to apply essential oil directly on your skin. So we have 3 different essential oils with carrier oils. I brought the common one, which is just a body oil. It's relaxing lavender body oil. Again, it has 3 different lavenders in it, and the lavender, true lavender, lavandin, and spike lavender. And what's really interesting is that spike lavender has ingredients in it, so I find it strange that they put it under relaxing, because spike lavender is actually quite awakening and stimulating. It is the last ingredient on the list, so maybe there's only a slight bit on there, so it probably wouldn't wake you up tremendously, but just be aware that some lavenders are more awakening. They have, spike lavender has 1/8 cineol and camphor in it, and those 2 ingredients are also found in things like eucalyptus and essential oils that are quite awakening and opening, especially if you have respiratory issues. So just to be aware of that. So these 2 are really interesting. The rose otto and the sandalwood are interesting because you're going to find that these types of essential oils are quite expensive. Sandalwood and rose, anything rose, jasmine, some of these precious flowers, they're, as an essential oil, they're very expensive because of the amount of plant material that's required. So a little fun fact, rose otto, it takes about 30 to 50 roses just to make 1 drop of rose essential oil. So a lot of plant material. So this is just, the label will tell you in jojoba oil. So what they've done is made it, they've added the carrier oil in there already so that you have something that's at a more reasonable price point. So in jojoba oil, this costs $14.99. And if you were to buy just the rose otto essential oil, it's going to cost you between $400 and $600. Now you only need 1 or 2 drops at a time, but it is an investment, so just be aware of that. Sandalwood, same thing, it's much more expensive. I think at the Whole Foods they were selling the sandalwood straight without being in jojoba oil, and that was $99. So this is also $14.99. So what they're doing is bringing the price point down, but you should know that there's a carrier oil in there. So I do not recommend that you use this in your diffuser, because the carrier oil, the fatty oils, will actually, they'll actually clog your diffuser. And that's the end of your diffuser. You don't want to clog your diffuser. So you need to use just essential oils in your diffuser. All right? Excuse me. Next we have the essential oil blends. So this is pretty straightforward, but I just did want to point them out that you can already buy a blend of essential oils, right? And many times you see that and they have fun names, like this is called Chill Pill, Calming, or a bedtime blend. This bedtime blend, if you use I had to use a magnifying glass because it's so hard to read the label, but it has about 8 or 9 different essential oils in it. A lot of different essential oils. So you could put this into your diffuser because it just has essential oils and not a carrier oils in it, but you only need about 5 or 6 drops. And a little tip when you go to bed, try to put it on 15 minutes, your diffuser on 15 minutes before you go to sleep, not while you're sleeping. It's kind of nice to just, put the diffuser on 15 minutes, walk out, go watch Netflix or read a book or do something in another room and then come back and turn off the diffuser, and you'll find your bedroom is this beautiful spa experience. And that'll help you fall asleep. Because once you're asleep, you really don't need to be stimulated by essential oils as you're sleeping. Your body's doing other things while it's sleeping, right? So that was just a little tip. So those are the essential oil blends. If you can, it's just so much fun to make your own blends. I know it's quick and easy, and it's nice to have somebody put things together for you, but like this has 9 or 10 different essential oils in it. I'm not sure if you need that many. It gets a little bit potpourri-like when you have so many things going on. I haven't opened the bottle, but I'm sure it smells convoluted because there's so many different smells going on in there from so many different essential oils. Last but not least, we have our essential oil singles. Now there's so many. I just wanted to bring up a few here because I thought there were kind of some interesting facts about them. Texas cedarwood, it's interesting because they call out the cedarwood. Sometimes you just see cedarwood written down. So this one has actually got the common name Texas cedarwood. There's also Atlas cedarwood. There's tons of different kinds of cedarwood. But make sure you look at the back of the label and look at the Latin name so you know which type of cedarwood you're buying. Because sometimes, again, it will only say cedarwood, and it could be Atlas cedarwood, it could be this Texas cedarwood, it could be the Virginia cedarwood, lots of different kinds, okay? This one is eucalyptus essential oil here in the Bay Area. We obviously smell a lot of eucalyptus from eucalyptus trees around here. But I wanted to mention here is that there's also lots of different types of eucalyptus. So again, look at the back of the label, look for the Latin name, the genus, species, the plant name, and then it'll give you a better idea of what type of essential oil, of eucalyptus you're buying, because they do have different attributes, therapeutic attributes. The other thing, most eucalyptus that you find, especially in the stores, is rectified eucalyptus. And what does rectified mean? Rectified means that, the plant material, the eucalyptus leaves and branches are steam distilled, and then there's another secondary distillation that takes place. And rectifying just means so they're taking out more of the volatile compounds. And then what you get here is, it's a nice smell. It smells a little bit like Vicks Vapor Rub. It's the eucalyptus that many of us know. And but try the eucalyptus that's just steam distilled once, that's not rectified. That smells divine too, completely different to this rectified version. It smells a lot more like what you smell when you're near eucalyptus trees. All right. Then we have ylang ylang 3. So this has a big 3 written on it. I don't know if you can see that here. So there are about 6 different distillations of ylang ylang. 3, so that there's the, I'm trying to remember what they're called, but there's the extra super, then there's the 1, there's the 2, and there's 3. And what's happening is that the ylang ylang flower is being distilled over several hours, and they'll take oil off at different points of the distillation. And that's mostly for perfumery and for scent. The most therapeutic value is actually in the ylang ylang complete. So if you find something that says complete, ylang ylang complete, that means it's distilled over 18 hours, and it's probably gotten the most chemical components, the volatile components, out of the distillation that can provide you with some therapeutic benefit. So in aromatherapy, we like the complete version. Now, there's nothing wrong with the 3. The 3 smells really gorgeous, and it's something you'll definitely recognize. And it's used a lot in body care products and perfumery, like for massage oils. If you go to a spa and they give you options of essential oils, it's most likely the 3 that they're giving you. That's the one that's most common. But look for complete if you want to, just to see if you might want to get even more therapeutic value. And here we have turmeric, CO2 extracted. So turmeric is a hot ingredient, obviously, as we know. In herbalism, you might find tinctures. In food, turmeric powder is added. There's also turmeric steam distilled essential oil. This is CO2 extracted essential oil. So what's interesting about the CO2 extraction is it has curcumin in it. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce that correctly, but curcumin is what actually helps provide that the pain and inflammation, like helps bring down the inflammation and the pain. So especially if you want to make a massage blend for arthritis or for just for any chronic pain, muscle pain, turmeric has been very helpful. So the CO2 extracted version will have the curcumin in it, whereas the steam distilled essential oil will not. All right. So that is really it. Those are the 4 buckets that I wanted to share with you today. Please feel free to leave me any comments underneath. I'll be happy to answer as many questions as I can. And I invite you to visit my website, falkaromatherapy.com, and check out my blog. I have lots of different topics on there, and including how to buy high quality essential oil. And yeah, there's just lots. I mean, there's plenty for you to read. So grab a nice cup of tea and enjoy. And I will try to be here again next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I hope to see you then. Thanks so much.